Hey everybody, how's it going? Hey, I'm going to do a little Gary V style video here quick for you today. This is my first video that I'm doing, and what I wanted to do was I had said initially that I was going to do a end of year 2015 wrap up on my project that I did that I called Building Relationships and Helping 15 people that I wanted to meet in 2015. And I said I was going to write a couple articles. I was going to write 5 articles for my site, shankorg.com. I was going to write 5 articles for LinkedIn, and also I was going to write 5 articles for Medium. But as things happen and as things go, I kind of ran out of time to do that. So what I thought I would do is I'm going to take a little foray here into video, do a little Gary V style video, and just kind of, first of all, let you know what that project was all kind of centered around and what I was trying to accomplish with that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow that up with a post that I'm going to put on my website, shankorg.com, also on linkedin.com and out on medium.com. And I'll just kind of share the same post there so everybody can get those 3 areas where I kind of write at, can get the same message. So what I was trying to do in 2015 with that kind of project was I was trying to build relationships with 15 people that I had selected, and I was trying to help them in some way in 2015. That was kind of my goal. Now, some of these people were people that were like stretch goals for me to meet. Some of them were when I read off the list, you'll see they're big name people, and I was just trying to build relationships with these people. I was just trying to meet these people, and I was trying to bring value to them, help them in some way. And so this is kind of the wrap up of kind of my efforts for this year and where we kind of stand at the end of 2015. So as I'm making this video today, it is December 30th. So we're towards the end of 2015, and so I just wanted to kind of wrap everything up for you guys. My list of people, here we go, get ready. Warren Buffett was on my list. John Lee Dumas, LaRae Quy, Elon Musk, Dorie Clark, Barbara Cochran, Brad Meltzer, Kim Garst. I hope I got that right, Kim. If I didn't, I apologize. Lolly Daskal. Lolly, I hope I got your last name right as well. Michael Hyatt, James Altucher, Richard Branson, Gary Vaynerchuk, Ryan Holiday, and Robert Greene. So for people who don't know who these people may be, I'll just kind of give a quick brief rundown of who they are. Warren Buffett, Oracle in Nebraska, Omaha, that guy is like probably the best investor of our times. John Lee Dumas, if you don't know him, you need to go check out his podcast on eofire.com. He does Entrepreneurs on Fire 7 days a week, and he interviews short, sweet interviews, probably 30 minutes or less, and he really gets into the nuts and bolts of the aha moments with them, of times when they had failures, times when they had successes. John Lee Dumas does a great job at interviewing over there, and I try to listen to every one of his podcasts, and he's been doing his podcast now, EO on Fire, for probably at least 2-3 years now. He's up in the thousands of podcast interviews that he's done with great entrepreneurs around the world. So if you haven't checked out John Lee Dumas, you need to check him out. LaRae Quy, she's former counterintelligence FBI agent, great lady. I met her through Twitter, and she is just an awesome lady. I've been able to correspond with her, build a great relationship with her. She's a great friend of mine, and she's doing great things. She's written a couple books. Her books are very, very good, and I will actually link to them in kind of the notes of this video that you'll be watching. She's also was working on the Mental Toughness Institute, I believe, this year, and really kind of got that off the ground. It's a great institute. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, please do. She's a great lady, and if you get the chance to meet her and build a relationship with her, she's awesome. You'll really love her. Elon Musk, of course, he is the CEO and founder of Tesla, the car company. He also does SpaceX, which is, trying to, get the rocket up to, outer space. Currently he's in that challenge with Richard Branson to try to get to Mars. All these types of things. Elon Musk is just a revolutionary, visionary kind of thinker, and he's a great guy. Although throughout this process, I have tweeted and tried to correspond with Elon. I have not been successful at this point yet. But Elon, you're still on my list, and I'm still going to keep trying. Dorie Clark is next on the list. Dorie is a marketing genius. That lady, she is beyond being just a great person, a nice woman. She is just a genius when it comes to marketing. She's also an excellent person when it comes to rebranding yourself. She did a couple books this year, and like Stand Out was one of her books. Awesome book. If you get an opportunity, please check it out. She's a great person. She's very personable. If you would like to build a relationship with her, I know that she would love to meet with you and talk with you. She's great. She's taken me under her wing, and she's she's made me a close friend of hers, and I really appreciate her and everything that she's done for me this year. And she has been one of the greatest people that I've been able to meet and build a relationship with this year. Barbara Cochran, of course, we all know Barbara Cochran from being on Shark Tank. She's a real estate mogul from New York, and she's an all-around good lady. I've only briefly talked with Barbara throughout this year via Twitter and some other social media. She's always been very personable, and I just kind of like her grit. I like her hustle. I like the way she attacks problems, and she has that kind of that mentality. There's nothing she can't do, and I like that about her. I also like watching her too on the Shark Tank because I think that she adds a good flavor. She adds a good dynamic to that group, and she's always willing to get in the mix, and she's always willing to let people know what she thinks. And Barbara, you're one of my favorites also. Although, like I said, I haven't really been able to build a deep relationship with you this year, but I do appreciate the times that you've tweeted me back, and then the small conversations we've had on social media. Thank you, Barbara. Brad Meltzer, he's a great author. I'm sure you've probably read some of his books. He also did a show, I'm not for sure which channel it was on, was it Discovery or History, something like that, where he did Decoded. He's just an all-around good writer. I really like his writing style, like the way that he's kind of inquisitive. He's kind of got a conspiracy theory thought to it, but maybe not. But I like that he's always digging for the facts. He's always trying to dig for the truth, and I like that about Brad. And I also know that this year, too, he kind of ventured off into the children's book arena. And while I haven't personally had a chance to read any of his children's books, I've read nothing and heard nothing but great reviews about his books. So, Brad, even though I didn't get to connect with you this year and really build a relationship with you, thanks for what you're doing. I love your books, and keep pressing forward. Kim Garst, I hope that's Garst. If I say it wrong, Kim, I apologize. Please forgive me. If you want, send me a tweet, Kim, and maybe make a little video of yourself just saying your last name for me. That would probably be helpful for me anyway. Everybody else watching this video, you may not even know Kim, but Kim is huge on social media. She's one of the top probably 10, 15 women on social media right now today. She is cutting edge. She's always leading the way. I'm always probably constantly daily reading her stuff on just Twitter, on Periscope, on LinkedIn, just all sorts of things. She is always talking about social media. She's always talking about new ways to market things. I've learned so much from Kim this year. It's hard to even begin with the things that I've just learned from Kim and just following her this year. Also, too, we've had some great conversations over Twitter and just over social media as a whole, Kim, and I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you acknowledging me and my efforts this year. It has been great, and you're a great person, and I'm just glad that I got to know you. I'll also include some of Kim's different things that I've enjoyed this year on the bullet kind of points in the post below. All right, Daskal. Lolly, I hope I said your name right. If I didn't, why don't you send me a tweet too with you saying your name for me, so I'll get it right in the future. Lolly Daskal is a leadership expert. She writes for Inc. She writes for a bunch of different places. She's always posting on Twitter about leadership, and I look to her constantly, daily, for what she's going to be writing about on different aspects of leadership. I'm really into leadership myself, and I like to study leadership, and Lolly just continuously puts out great content when it comes to leadership. I know she also speaks. I've never been able to hear you speak, Lolly, but if you ever come anywhere close to Tennessee or Nashville, you need to let me know, because I'd love to come hear you speak. Michael Hyatt. Michael Hyatt, great guy. He was a publisher for a while, and as a matter of fact, I think he even is in Nashville, the Nashville area, like Franklin, Brentwood area in Tennessee. And while I've never got to meet you personally, Michael, I read your stuff all the time, and I just wanted to let you know how refreshing kind of your style of writing is, because for me, you kind of have a different slant. You've kind of got a, I don't know, it's kind of like a family, kind of like it's just kind of like a family slant, I guess, that you have to the way you kind of write your stuff, kind of a holistic male approach, I guess, to your writing it, and I really appreciate it. I like your voice. I like the way that you write, and I like the things you write about, and I just want to say thank you for all the things that I've learned from you personally this year, Michael. Like I said, we've never been able to kind of talk. I've never been able to kind of hook up with you, even on social media, but I do appreciate your writing. I do appreciate the things that you've been talking about this year and the things that I've been learning from you. James Altucher. Where do I start with James Altucher? First of all, James, if you're watching this, I don't think that you would deny this, but you got crazy hair like Albert Einstein, crazy hair. But what I love most about James is that I found him this year by reading his books, Choose Yourself, and a few of his other books, The Power of No, and I've just been a fan ever since I started reading your books. Your weekly posts, your daily posts sometimes that you put out on your different, out on LinkedIn or on your own site or wherever you may write, I always try to read your stuff. I love how you have like a disruptive mind. You have like a disruptive mindset, and you look at things different, and I love that about you. I like the way that you tear things apart. I think it's great that you were like a hedge fund manager at one time, and then you lost everything, and then you start all these companies and you lost everything, and you've just constantly been rebuilding yourself and getting better and better with each time you've rebuilt yourself. And I just think it's great, and I like just your mindset. I like the way that you, like I said, tear things down and put things back together, and the way you look at things. Sometimes, the things you look at, the way you look at them are odd. I'll give you that, but you know what? I love that about you. I love that you're not afraid to say what other people are thinking, and I think that makes you a unique person, and I think that's what really helps kind of sell you as a person. Also, too, I want to say, James, I appreciate every time that I've texted you with a question, you always get back to me. I know that that you kind of have that out there. You're kind of like, here's my number, call me, text me, whatever, and I'll answer as I can. And you know what? I appreciate that about you. You know what I'm saying? You're somebody who is out there, but yet you're reachable. And I like the fact that I can text you about random things, and you know what? I might text you, and like 3 days later, you might be standing in the line at, I don't know, Walmart getting something, or you might be standing in line at a restaurant waiting to go inside or whatever, and you get my text message and you read it quick and you just respond back to it. And I just want to say that I appreciate that, and I know that it's hard sometimes, I'm sure, with the hundreds of thousands of emails and text messages and everything else that you get every day, that you actually take time and actually go through and read them and actually respond to them. I appreciate it. I know other people appreciate it, and I know that makes you approachable as a person, and I think that's another great thing about you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no offense, but I mean, if you saw James Altucher walking down the street, dude, most people just might be like, whatever, guy with crazy hair. But what you're doing, just for all of us out here, is making a difference, and I appreciate that. And you're doing a great job, and I can't say it enough. Please keep going. Please keep writing what you're writing, and please keep looking at things the way you are, because you have a disruptive mind, and I love that about you, and I love the way that you write. So please keep going forward. Richard Branson. I've never talked to you. You're on my list. Of course, Richard Branson, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk. You guys are all that like next level reach that I was trying to get to. And Richard, I've never been able to talk with you. We've never been able to correspond even over social media. But I've read your books. I like your ideas. I like the way you go about things. As you can see, I haven't adopted all your ideas yet. I got a tie on. I know you're totally anti-tie, and I don't blame you for that. And maybe one day I'll be able to not have to wear a tie too. But I like your ideas, and I like what you stand for, and I like that you have a global view on things. I like that your whole life isn't just about business. Your life is about helping people. And I like the different stories that I read about the people who work for Virgin and how you incorporate their ideas and how you go down and you get in the trenches with them and you want to know their ideas. You want to talk to those people. You want to see why they're doing the things they do and how they do the things they do and how we can make things better. And I like that you take Virgin and instead of just making it like a company that people work for, you try to, it's more of a we. Virgin is almost like a we company where the people that work for you that are really ingrained with the Virgin mentality and the Virgin goals, they're how can we make Virgin better? How can we work with Richard to make things better? And I think that's freaking awesome. I think that's just cool. And I think that really sets you apart in the business world. I don't think there are many people who run companies as big as yours that have that mentality. And for that, I really like you, Richard. And like I said, I'm a fan. And I'll probably always be a fan. Next, Gary Vaynerchuk. Where do I start with this guy? This guy's crazy. He's off the chain. He's off the hook. Gary, I've read all your books. Crush it. I've read them all. And I've been trying to utilize bits and pieces of them in my own life as I'm building my own business and as I'm trying to do things and as I'm trying to help other people. And I love the fact that, when you wanted to expand, VaynerMedia, you could have went anywhere. I know you're in New York. I know you like the Jets, what I'm saying? And you know what? I hope you get them. I hope you get it one day. I hope you get that goal. Although I did hear recently, it was either in an interview or podcast or something like that, somebody asked you what happened if you ever got it. And you were like, you couldn't really answer that question. And I get it, because you're a guy that's all about the hunt. You're the guy that's all about the journey. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you don't want to hit the end goal because then you don't know what you'll do. And I get that. I love the drive. I love the hustle. I love how, I read about you and you're like, you're working till like midnight every night and you're up at like, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, starting all over, doing it again. But the thing I like most about it is that you love what you do. You have a passion, and I think your passion comes out. I think your passion shows. And I think that's what just like sucks people into you. That's what makes people want to talk with Gary Vee. That's what makes people want to be around Gary Vee. And just to kind of get back to it, I love how when you were looking at expanding VaynerMedia, you could have went anywhere. You're in New York now, I think that's your headquarters. You could have went anywhere. You could have went LA, you could have went, Miami, you could have went anywhere, but you chose Chattanooga, Tennessee. Beautiful. I love that. And you know what? One day, I live up in Nashville. One day I'd like to work with you on a project out of Chattanooga, doing something. I don't know what that may be. I don't know when that will be, but we're going to hook up one day, Gary, and you and I are going to work together, and we're going to do something, and we're going to do it out of the Chattanooga office. Now, maybe it ends up, I come up to New York and I meet you in the New York office, and we hang out and we finalize things there, and we do whatever we're going to do from there. But it's going to start out in the Chattanooga office, and I look forward to that, Gary. I know it's going to happen, and I'm going to keep working on building my relationship with you in 2016. You may not even know who I am yet, but you'll hear me. You'll see me up on your radar. I'm going to be blipping up on your radar. And sooner or later, Gary, you're going to have to answer me. Even if it's just like, no, Chris, or right on, Chris, or hey, that was good, Chris, or whatever that may be, you're going to answer me, Gary. I know you will. You're that type of guy. Ryan Holiday, Obstacle is the Way is the book. And because of you, I've got interested into Stoicism. I didn't really know anything about it before I started reading your work, before I started listening to you on podcasts, interviews, things like that. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for introducing me to that. I didn't know anything about it until I read your book, Obstacle is the Way. And then from then, I've just been doing my own research. I've been diving into it, checking it out. This year, I made it a goal to read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, just because of you and the impact that you've had on me. And great book. It was a great book. It's one of those books that I've put on my list to reread every year, because even though I read it this year, for whatever reason, I don't think I can get everything out of that book that I wanted to get out of that book with just one reading. So it's a book that I'm adding to my reading list to reread every year. Also, too, I read your other books about just crazy. I love how your mind works. I love how your mind works. I love that you interned with Robert Greene. Robert Greene's next on my list. I'm a huge fan of Robert Greene's. And the fact that you got to intern with him and got to help him write is amazing. I would like that opportunity one time. And I'll put it out right here on this video. Robert Greene, if you need an intern, whatever you want to call it, if you need somebody to help you research doing your next book, the book after that, 50 books from now, whatever that may be, I would love the opportunity, free of charge, to help you research a book that you're working on. It would be an honor for me. I love the way you write. I've read all your books. I'm a huge fan, Robert, huge fan. And the fact that, Ryan, that you've had that opportunity, I have to say, I'm a little jealous about that. But you know what? The beautiful thing about that is, Ryan, is that I know that if you did it, I can do it. And I know that if Robert gave you a chance and let you help him do some research, that Robert, if you're watching this video, like I said, I don't care if it's your next book, 50 books from now, if you ever need somebody to help you do some research, anything, you reach out to me. I'd be willing to help you, free of charge, no cost. I would love to do it. Brian, also, I love your style of writing, and I like that you post all the time. And I like that you write about a variety of things. The thought catalog that you've been writing in, awesome. I go to the thought catalog all the time just to check things out. And it's because of you that I know the thought catalog. So, like I said, great writer. Please keep it up. I look forward to your future books. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. Robert Greene, my final person on my list this year. As I said before when I was talking about Ryan, I'm a huge fan. I've read all your books, 48 Laws of Power, 50th Law, The Art of Seduction. I've read them all. And, they're awesome. I just don't know how to explain it any other way. I like your style of how you take history and the people in history, and you are able to analyze their lives and pull those special things out. It's amazing to me the way you write. I'm a huge fan of, now this is probably going to get me in trouble, because every time I say this to other people, they blow me off and think that I'm crazy and everything else. But when I was in high school, I started reading a lot of philosophy and things like that, and one of my favorites was Machiavelli. I like The Prince. That's one of my favorite books of all times. And when I say that, in a public setting, people think I'm crazy. People are like, "Oh my gosh, you like Machiavelli?" Oh, they lose their mind, and they, whatever. They can think whatever they want. But for me, when I was in high school and I was doing my own research, trying to build my own philosophies on life, that book spoke to me. For whatever reason, it spoke to me. And it's been one of my favorite books of all times. And I try to read it at least once a year, every year, just to kind of remind myself about the book and about the principles in the book. And to me, Robert Greene, you are that type of writer. You are that type of writer that gets into people's lives and can kind of pick them apart and figure out what worked for them, what didn't work for them, how they could have done things better, and you string all these people together, to illustrate your purpose of the book. And I think that is just amazing. That is amazing. I don't really know how you do it. I know you must research and research and research and research some more. But it is amazing, amazing to me. And I love reading your work. So like I said, Robert, if you ever need someone to help you with research, even the smallest part, the smallest detail, the smallest research thing that you don't want to do yourself, please let me know. I'd love to help you out. I don't need any recognition. I don't need any pay. I don't need any of that stuff. I would just love to help you out and to be able to correspond with you and build a relationship with you. All right, well, so that's pretty much it. Those are the 15 people that I was working on in 2015. As you can see, some of them I had success with, some of them I didn't have success with. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop trying. 2016 is right around the corner. It's 2 days away, and I'm going to have a build relationships and help people continuation project for 2016. I'll be releasing that list here probably in the next 2 days or so, and I'll admit that list in 2016 will be shorter. It'll be more concise, more condensed, but you'll recognize some of the names from this list on that list again next year as I push forward and try to build a relationship and help these people. Definitely the people on my list. I'm all about helping people, and if there's ever anything I can do for anyone who's watching this video, or if there's any questions that you might have that you think that I can help you with or that I can answer for you, please feel free just to reach out to me anytime. My Twitter account is at Chris Schenk, ChrisSchenk, and feel free anytime to reach out to me, or you can always find me too at my website, the SchenkOrganization.com. The website is SCHENKORG.com, and I have all my contact information on there too, so that's probably the easiest place for you to find me. I'm also out on Instagram and Facebook and Google Plus, different areas like that. So please feel free to look me up. I'm always looking, and interested to meet new people and to hear what people are doing and, what things you got going on in your life. And if there's something I can do to help you, please let me know. All right. I hope everybody has a great day. I hope that the rest of your 2015 is good. I hope you have a great New Year's, and I look forward to talking to you more in 2016. Oh, one last message before I leave. Throughout my life, I've been told also that, I have a face for radio. So, because of people like Chris Ducker, Pat Flynn, and Gary Vaynerchuk, all I want to say is this is my first foray into video, but it's not going to be my last. And thank you for everybody who told me that throughout my years, because you are the people who are pushing me forward to actually try the video and to actually try this new medium for myself and to see what it can become for me. So thank you for pushing me forward. I appreciate it. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a great New Year's, and I'll see you in 2016.